What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're here to take a look at this 2020 Hyundai Venue, which is shown here in a color called apple green, which is an appropriate name for this color. It's a color that's not for everyone, but I'm sure someone will like it. Believe me when I tell you, anywhere you go in this car, you will stand out. I've had this car for close to a week, and I've gotten surprisingly tons of compliments on it. Most of the compliments come from a younger crowd because this car is designed for the younger buyer, right? So this is an entry-level vehicle for the entry-level segment. This will be somebody who is just graduating from high school and their parents decide to buy them a car, or someone who's retired on a fixed income and they just want something that's small, cheap, and affordable to drive. This would be what you're looking at here, the 2020 Hyundai Venue. So today, let's take a look at the exterior and the interior details and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Starting at the front, we have some interesting styling here going on at the front of the Venue with this cascading grille. But what I find really unique about the front of this vehicle is that the turning signals are located on top of the headlamps, and they're in their individual units. The headlamps have daytime running lamps around them, but what I really like about this car is that for an $18,000 base price point, you're getting LED headlamps. So going forward, every other manufacturer has no excuse but to put LED headlamps in their vehicles, because Hyundai's done it in their Venue that starts at around $18,000. Now underneath the hood, you're gonna find a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder power plant, putting out 121 horsepower and 113 pound-feet of torque. Again, I know that's not much, but again, you gotta look at who's this car marketed to. This car is marketed to extremely young drivers who don't need to have all that power. Now that power plant is connected to a CVT transmission. Let's go ahead and check out the side profile. Now when it comes to the side profile of the Venue, you still get that unique blocky look that stands out. I mean, most other cars in this segment have nice curvaceous lines, but this one is for someone who wants a car that stands out a little bit at a cheaper price point, and that's not bad. Now the side profile also features these plastic black wheel arches and sculpting on the lower bodywork. Usually I would take off points for that, but in a car that's so affordable, to me, that's okay. Now this particular vehicle comes optioned with the 17-inch wheels that have a nice unique design to them. 15-inch wheels are typically standard on this vehicle, but I like the look of the 17-inch wheels as well. Now when you take a look at the rear of the vehicle, you're getting that same styling, that blocky theme that carries throughout the entire car. Now I'm gonna call this a car because it's not really an SUV or a crossover. I think of this as more of an exaggerated hatchback, right? Let's open up the hatch here and you'll see the storage that comes with this vehicle. When the second row seats are up, you're getting about 18 cubic feet of storage. Now you can put the second row seats down and that gives you about 31 cubic feet of storage. The second row seats have to be put down from the second row. You can't access the latch from the back here. Okay, so not a ton of storage. That's why I'm calling this more of a car or an exaggerated hatchback. Let's go ahead and put this down. You do get LED brake lamps, but your turning signals are incandescent bulbs. So now that we've covered some of the exterior details, let's go ahead and take the Venue on the road, talk about the interior and the ride quality. All right, so we're cruising in this Hyundai Venue. Isha, as usual, let's start off with what you think about the exterior. What are your impressions?
So when I first saw it, I honestly thought it was some sort of Kia Soul.
Okay, I can see that.
With the little things riding in there, you know.
Done the mice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not this, but.
That's what it reminded me of, and I thought the color was absolutely awful.
Right. Okay, but if you were younger.
I would totally love it. I would have wanted it.
You would have loved this if you were out of high school.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the me now talking. But the prehistoric me.
Yeah. So if you were fresh out of high school or a young buyer, your parents were going to buy you a car.
Yeah, hands down. I would have wanted this in high school because this would have been the cool thing to have. Right. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you're 17 or so, this is cool, especially the color.
Yeah, even in college.
Right.
I drove a Toyota Corolla.
Oh, you had a car in college. You had a Corolla.
I had a car with a car note that I had to pay.
Okay, that's fair enough. So And this is a reasonably affordable car. You know, the base price is around $18,000. As shown here, it might be around $21,000. So, you know, it's an affordable car that virtually anybody could buy, right? So the whole goal is to put something out there that has, you know, a decent price point and offers decent features, right? And a lot of the features that really will impress the buyer are in the interior, right? So let's go ahead and talk about that. So the interior finish, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, most of it is plastic in here. You know, hard touch surfaces, feel that, you know, plastic on the doors and everything. But there's certain aspects of the car that truly shine, and I'll point that out in a second. So we'll just start off with the 8-inch touchscreen display, which has your navigation system, you know, your backup camera, and various menus that give you different access to different capabilities of the vehicle, right? So I think that when they were designing the interior of this car, they were less focused on materials and more focused on tech features, right? So if you come down, you have a 12-volt cigarette lighter and 2 USB ports, right? So a person driving this car, let's say you're younger, you're more interested in being able to keep your phone charged, right?
Yeah.
Than having, you know, a soft touch material to rest your elbow.
I wouldn't have cared about that at all.
Right.
I was just cared about, hey, is it going to get me from point A to B? Does it look cool?
Right.
Does it have navigation? Yeah. Keep my phone charged. Can it keep me warm?
Is it good on gas? Right. Stuff like that. So this car is getting like 33 miles to the gallon on average.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty good. Now I do wish there was a wireless charging base here. There isn't one in this particular car. Maybe that's something they'll do in the future. But you do have the USB ports right there, front and center. You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Right. So all the stuff a young person or young buyer would want. It's
pretty good because it even has the heated seats and everything.
Heated seats.
This is actually really good.
Right. So
I didn't have that.
Exactly. So the seats are cloth, but you still get the heated seat capability, right?
Sheesh.
So that's pretty impressive that they thought to include that in here. Now you do have a single zone climate control. It's not a large car. You know, I'm not really going to take off any points for not having a dual zone climate control. Single zone gets the job done. You're comfortable right now, right?
Yeah.
I am too. So let's just agree on the temperature and keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a car that you're going to be taking on long drives every weekend, right? This is something to get you around town. If you do want to have a road trip with your friends, you can do that. But go ahead and talk about the back seat.
Back seats are small, and I have named them the knee crunchers.
So knee cruncher status on the back seat. You know, maybe you and the person in front can work out a little negotiation about how much room you need up front and how much room they need in the back. But, you know, you can get people back there.
Yeah.
This
is a good starter car. And it's a good I don't want to say mid-level, but
this is definitely an entry-level vehicle.
Yeah.
It's a car. You saw the storage, maximum of around 31 cubic feet of storage. That is on a car level. This is not to be confused with like a crossover or, you know, an SUV.
Right.
This is really just like an exaggerated hatchback.
Right. And I would have driven it.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, I'm flooring it right now, right? We're not, it was struggling there. The 0 to 60 time is non-existent in this car. And that's a good thing because a younger buyer doesn't need a car that's going 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
No.
If I had to guess, this is 0 to 60 in more like 9 seconds. Again, only a 121 horsepower power plant up front, 113 pound-feet of torque. You know, you don't need all that power. But, you know, it moves. It gets you from point A to point B, like you said. What are your thoughts on that?
Right. I was just thinking about this 0 to 60 and how my Corolla sounded back in the day, and it was like that.
But back in the day, you needed something that you weren't going to get yourself killed in, right?
No, right. I'm just saying it sounded like that because it wasn't for that.
Right. It's not for that. So if you're a parent and you're looking at this review, this would be an overall safe car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For your kid.
Absolutely.
You got, lane assist, so it's making sure you're not veering off into different lanes. If it detects that you're not braking in time and there's an object in front of you, it has emergency brake, brakes the car on its own. That is technology.
That's nice.
That around 10 years ago,
needed.
You only saw that in $100,000 cars 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It even has avoidance behind you, right? So if you're backing out your parking lot or your driveway, it's able to detect objects behind you. You got the backup camera. You got the side curtain airbags. You know, there are tons of safety features in this car that make it practical for the younger buyer.
Nice. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Now, I will mention, you know, you do have the black interior, but to counter that, they gave you the sunroof, right? So you get that open air experience if you want to have that.
Right.
And
you do have some features that should probably be on other vehicles.
That's what I'm saying.
That are more expensive.
Exactly.
That are in this standard vehicle.
Exactly. That's exactly my point with this vehicle. They did not focus on the materials. They put a whole bunch of other features in there.
Which is nice.
That are like, hey, I would want that.
Exactly.
Right? You know, as far as like not having a soft place to put your elbow, okay. The door, the armrests on the elbow, they're a little hard, but they're aftermarket things you can do.
Yeah, that's not that serious,
right.
Honestly, especially when you're depending on the driver.
Yeah.
You know, that's driving this. That's not going to be something that I'm looking for.
Right. And, you know, and at this price point, you know, you can always go into like an advanced auto parts store or something, you know, and like trick it out, like add these little cheap little knickknacks that you used to do back in the day to make your car yours.
Let me not downplay this car that much because it's not that bad.
It's not bad at all.
Because I must say the seat is firm, but
the seats are nice.
They are actually accommodating, meaning wide and not small. And some of the other vehicles we have rode in, they were very tiny, and I was a little upset based upon, you know, the vehicle that I was in. And with such a small seat.
They did well on the seats on this car. I will say that the seats are extremely comfortable. We've reviewed cars with double the price, and I'm like, hey, the seats are too small. What's going on here?
You know, and the overall ride quality is good.
Ride quality is good, especially for a car with such a short wheelbase of around 99 inches. The ride quality seems remarkably smooth.
Exactly.
Which I wasn't expecting.
I noticed that when we started coming up the road. I looked for that, and of course sound, it's not so bad either. It's not so
bad. Just a hint of road noise, but it's really tolerable.
I'm pretty impressed. Like because you know, people downplay standard vehicles. This is what you would call a standard vehicle.
Right.
And in standard vehicles, you know, people downplay them. Oh, you're not going to get X, Y, and Z. You're going to get, you know, just manual windows.
Oh, the manual windows. I remember.
But that's not in this vehicle.
Right.
You know, it's overall quality is great.
It's good. It is. You're getting a lot for the money once you just sit back and look at the features in this vehicle.
Right. And let's make it clear that everyone does not want a luxury vehicle.
Right.
So there are some people that this is good for them.
This is good for them.
You know, and it meets all of their standards. So I just want to put that out there because everybody's like, oh, go luxury, go this. But that's not for everyone.
It's not for everybody.
You know?
Yep.
So I think this meets a very good in-between point of getting the tech, getting some of the quality details from luxury vehicles in a standard vehicle.
I have to agree.
You know?
Yep.
So
overall, that's the Venue right there. A ton of features for an extremely low price point. So, Isha, I want to thank you for joining me during the driving portion of the review.
I like the Venue.
You like the Venue. You like it a little more that you rode in it now.
I do. You know, that apple green. You know, when you said that apple green, it made me think you got them apple bottom jeans.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks, Isha, for joining us.
All right.
That was a brief overview of this 2020 Hyundai Venue. And let me tell you, it has a ton of tech for its price point, with the 8-inch touchscreen display, the rear view camera, the cross traffic and lane change assist, even head-on collision avoidance. So it is able to apply the brakes in emergency situations if it detects that you're not applying the brakes fast enough. That's a ton of safety features that a younger buyer could definitely appreciate. Would you buy this car for your kid who just graduated from high school or is heading into college? Let me know in the comments section. But let me tell you, going to college without a car is a nightmare. I didn't get my first car till I had my first job after graduating from college. And let me tell you, depending on people to go here and there, or just being stranded or waiting on somebody to be ready to leave, It's a total nightmare. Don't put your kid through that. Look at cars like the Hyundai Venue. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.